Welcome to another episode of Drunk Cop and a Teacher, the podcast where everything's made up and our comments don't matter, just like the Oscars of this year.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. And you know what else doesn't matter?
The Oscars?
Besides the Oscars, it was so funny to see that HBO was forcing the 10 years of Game of Thrones. The way that they were, it was just so funny how they were forcing it. Like, 10 years of Game of Thrones. Congratulations. Everybody give a round of applause. And I see everybody just saying 10 years of Game of Thrones. Like, everybody was celebrating. Like, it was like a successful show.
Okay,
Wait,
so
what was this at the Oscars?
I didn't watch this. Yeah,
no, but it was like last week or not too long ago, and I wanted to mention it. Like they were forcing it so hard the way that they forced that ending.
Well, was there even 10 years of Game of Thrones or what?
I mean, it was only
reruns.
You know, of course, but that's what I'm saying. It was like 8 seasons, but
I don't know. I mean, I never watched Game of Thrones, so I'm out of
Yeah,
this
but
loop
there was
on
8
this one.
seasons, but some seasons didn't they take forever? Or was there actually? I don't understand if they were doing 10 years and they actually didn't have 10 years. That just sounds stupid.
yeah, I didn't understand either. I guess it was just like I don't know. 2 years ago was 8 years, and then now it hit 10 years, but that's not counting the production delays.
So it's like counting.
Oh, that's technicality shit then.
Yeah.
Or is it counting like when people die and it's like, oh, they would be 45 this year, and you're like, if you say so. I mean.
Yeah, it's something like that. Like, you know, this person died. If he would have been here, he would have been 63. Wait, the show has been going on for only 3 years. Just go along with it.
I only brought up the Oscars because that happened just Sunday. And Ham, did you watch it?
I was at a punch party and I got punched the fuck out.
It's interesting because I mean I don't know about Mike because I don't talk Oscars with Mike, but I know Ham and I were kind of avid fans of the Oscars.
Yeah, I knew they were on. I just wasn't really.
But we used to watch them all the time. We used to talk about them all the time. Like we would kind of put our bets on who's gonna win what. But this one, I just completely forgot it even was existing until like the night before, where the advertisements started coming on Facebook, and I was like, "Oh shit, is that tomorrow?" Oh, okay. And then I just completely forgot about it again.
No, I mentioned to you guys a few times. I'm like, "Hey, the Oscars are coming up soon. I think it's Sunday or whatever." And I'm sure I mentioned it once or twice to you. I know I mentioned to a few people because no one knew. But
I think it's an interesting talking point because there's been a lot of shit going on behind the Oscars and whatnot. So I think for our next episode, we will probably bring that up. So for listeners' sake,
I thought the Oscars were this week.
It's already gone.
That's the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah, you can keep waiting. Listeners, I apologize. I fucked up last week. I was not present for the recording. Ham asked me about it, but usually the routine goes that my daughter ends up having, like, my girlfriend tells her the bedtime story, and then I snuggle up with her afterwards to help her fall asleep. She took longer than expected, and I ended up falling asleep with her. And so that's why there was no recording. That was my bad. I take full admittance. You know, I'm not going to bullshit around it like some people might, do. Not saying that any of these two guys do, although Mike definitely does. But,
on video games. Podcast, I show up to work.
But yeah, so we're behind an episode, which is kind of fine. We're gonna try to blast out 2 episodes for you guys this week. This one is gonna be focused on Mortal Kombat and Falcon and the Winter Soldier 2. A new release movie, and then a season finale. That's unclear.
Who knows?
Yeah, I know. Of Falcon and Winter Soldier happening, so they were back to back. When did you guys watch them? I'll tell you this. I watched them one right after another at 3 a.m.
Oh, I watched it on every Friday, but it's like 8:00 p.m.
Okay, so Friday night, and then Ham.
Mm-hmm.
Even though, Ham, happy belated birthday, by the way.
Thank you. I did a lot of things last weekend.
Ham was Falcon, and he was also the Winter Soldier.
And also Captain America and Zemo. You should have seen my dance moves. Yeah. Spoilers. Fun. Uh-oh, it's hitting me. No,
Like when
SeaWorld
it's
was
when did you
Friday.
watch him?
SeaWorld was Friday, so I don't think we saw it until probably 11 at night on Friday. So I was telling you
Okay.
guys no spoilers.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
Mortal Kombat, we saw in theaters Sunday afternoon.
Okay. So we'll start talking about Mortal Kombat first, and then we'll end it with Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And this will be completely spoiler filled from the get go. We'll do the routine of we'll just say immediately what our card is first, and then we'll go into a general discussion about the movie. So we'll start with Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
IMDb.
Yeah.
IMDb gave it a 6.3.
Ooh.
Rotten Tomatoes gives it a 55%.
Oh.
Metacritic, 44%.
Ooh.
Right.
But none of
My
that shit
people.
matters
My people.
because Ham's people, those 6 Google users out there, 87%
Ooh.
like this
That's
movie.
way better than what numbers you just said before.
Way better. Wow.
Yeah. The synopsis, I'm gonna read the IMDb synopsis because it's like half a paragraph shorter. MMA fighter Cole Young seeks out Earth's greatest champions in order to stand against the enemies of Outworld in a high-stakes battle for the universe. This was a, I guess, quote unquote, highly anticipated movie. There was a lot of hype leading up to this movie. There's a click pop culture fandom for the original Mortal Kombat movie, and then a love-hate group for Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Also the game.
Well, yeah, I was gonna lead up to that, and
All
then
right.
the long, of course, franchise of the video game itself. That's where it all started. I wanted to bring up first before we get into discussion of, like, are we Mortal Kombat fans? Like, I do like the franchise. I like the video games. I suck at it. I'm terrible at it. I can't do shit.
Yeah,
I don't even
same.
know how to do Scorpion's, like, spear thing. Like, I can't do anything. But I love the game, and I love the fact that there's lore behind the characters. And then
Nowadays, anyways.
yeah, well, I occasionally watch like Angry Joe and Jeremy Johns, where they're huge fans of Mortal Kombat. And they get super excited about talking Mortal Kombat. They get super excited about talking about the lore. So I kind of got into that when they reviewed like Mortal Kombat 11 when that game came out. So like I really like the franchise, and I really like the original movie. So that's where I kind of was coming in with this movie. I was really excited for the reboot, and that's why I stayed up till like 3 a.m. to watch it right after Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Mike, where do you stand with the franchise?
If I had to give a percentage of like scale of like 1 to 100%, I'm at 50% of Mortal Kombat lore. I don't want to say I'm a huge fan, but I do love Mortal Kombat. Every time when there's a new game of Mortal Kombat, I buy it instantly.
Yeah, okay.
I did watch back in the day the Mortal Kombat show that came out as well. I didn't see like the latest Mortal Kombat movie that they made or something like that. I don't know. It was something.
Oh, you mean the one on YouTube?
Not at the one on YouTube. There was something else.
There's a YouTube series, and then there's an animated movie like Scorpion's Revenge or something like that.
I'm not doing no anime.
Yeah. I didn't see that one. I didn't see Scorpion's Revenge. But there was like another live action movie, something that came out in 2002, if I believe so. So I don't know. It was something weird.
It was like a YouTube thing. Yeah, it was definitely a YouTube
think that's
series.
the YouTube thing, guys. I don't know what else live action there was.
Yeah,
there was another thing, but I did see the YouTube thing. The YouTube thing was cool. I liked it. It was really cool fan service. So I stand from a good 50% of it.
Okay. Ham?
I've played almost all the games. I remember I was the best at Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. You can't touch me with that vampire chick, which I'm trying to remember if that's the same one in the movie.
Nikata?
Because he keeps spamming with low kick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was kind of funny. That little Easter egg. I've also played I'm sure Mike has as well. The Mortal Kombat versus
Nirata, whatever her name is.
Yeah. No.
No,
Maybe
Mortal Kombat versus DC. He's talking about now.
Oh yeah, I play that.
Played that.
Unfortunately.
I remember you were very obsessed with Shaolin monks. I think that's what it was
Oh
called.
yeah, I remember that game. When it comes to Shaolin, that was kind of cool. It was different. Went a little from the standard Mortal Kombat
Right.
game. It was like teamwork made the dream work, but you don't know. It was a beat 'em up.
Yeah. And you were coming into this movie most excited out of the three of us. Because
Was I guess I was really
you
looking
well,
forward
because
to
the
it.
last time I think when Mike brought up his gold card, or when I talked about almost giving my gold card to nobody, you're like, I might have to save that for Mortal Kombat next week. I don't know.
Maybe just based off the trailers, I was
Yeah.
very interested to see what was
Yeah.
gonna happen,
But
and I think the last game I did play was Mortal Kombat 10. I remember trying to beat Shao Kahn was insanely difficult on normal, but I did it, and I haven't touched 11 yet, but there's still time. I
11's
still
good.
love
Ham's
this
gonna
game.
buy 11 when 13 comes out.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna buy 11 when it's all the DLC characters and it's $20. Yeah.
Yeah, 11. 11's story was a bit confusing for me. I had to replay it.
I'm sure it was.
Yeah,
All right,
they
so
they mess with time.
Ooh,
it's always
really?
sloppy with time
Whoa,
travel.
whoa, whoa, whoa! They
Yeah,
mess with time?
yeah,
Yeah.
time. It's a time traveling thing. Yeah,
Oh God, I'm gonna get it now.
Ham's buying it right now.
Yeah.
He's like, "What? $15? Well, I'll wait. I'll wait."
Wow, 15. Mm-mm. I need a $7 deal.
Without the DLC?
All right, cards. We'll reveal our cards first, and then we'll talk about the movie. All spoilers ahead. Mike, you go first. Just your card, nothing else.
Yeah, but listeners, watch the movie and then come back and listen to us. It's going to be a fun discussion. It's a red card.
Ham,
Wow. Give me a second with this red. Yellow.
I'm red.
Damn.
I had to fight between a yellow and a red, and I think the more I kept thinking about it, I was just being too nice with it when I was giving it a yellow, and I just I don't know. Okay, so listeners, the whole movie is basically you follow Cole Young, who's really the main character out of this entire thing.
Wait, can I mention
ends
something
up
before you continue on?
sure.
Just imagine Cole Young, like you created a fighter in a Mortal Kombat game.
Yeah, it's a customizable
Yep, I
fighter,
agree.
yeah.
That's fair. That's
Yep.
fair.
He's a descendant of the she I don't even know what the proper word, Scorpion's bloodline. He's a descendant of Scorpion's bloodline. Ends up getting the shit beaten out of him. That's his thing. Like he always loses. He always gets beaten up.
Lin, or is that no? That's Sub-Zero's, I believe.
Yeah. Ends up running into Jax and basically just like saves him from Sub-Zero, and it tries to explain to him that Sub-Zero is hunting people, but he doesn't explain why they're hunting people. And then Jax sacrifices himself to save Cole Young, to tell him, hey, go meet Sonya over here while I go die over here. And then meet Sonya, ends up having to prove himself to her. Then she basically is exposition speech monologue thing of like, hey, we don't have time to show you what this movie's about, so we're just going to tell you this in like 2 seconds. And then we end up going into what is at this point? They're traveling to find. Do they know Raiden at this point, or they just were trying to find his temple?
They were just trying to find this temple. They didn't know who
the
Raiden
name.
was.
It was Raiden's temple.
Yeah, they're trying to find his temple.
Yeah.
Who Kano knows where that is. Kano was obviously like trapped or captured by Sonya. Shane Sung, right? That's his name, right? Am I getting that right?
Shane Sung. Yeah.
Comes in with his breaking the rules of, hey, I'm gonna kill all the fighters before the tournament starts, because apparently that's a thing I can do. And that's all it comes down to, is like he's trying to get rid of Raiden's fighters while Raiden is trying to get his fighters to actually be prepared for the fight. And I guess they all find out what their power is at the end. That's like the super condensed version, because I got really bored in this movie.
Oh,
like it took me.
What?
This movie is a snooze fest.
I think if I was in the theater, I would have fallen asleep.
I'm surprised you even paid a ticket. I feel bad for you, Ham.
No, I got
so here's
Regal
the thing.
Pass.
No.
Even as a Mortal Kombat fan,
It's a shame.
I don't agree with the people that think that this is great for Mortal Kombat fans, because
I think it is.
No, it's not.
If we're gonna use the term fan service here, That's all this movie literally was.
But cheap
It was
though.
like the little cheesy lines and the little cheesy
Oh,
two
oh, it was
second
definitely
clips.
all cheese.
But
It was
but like
all cheese, all the cheeses.
but the in between was so pointless. It was like a build up to the cheese. It was like, okay, yeah, okay, we need to have fatality. Yeah, let's have him say fatality. Oh, he needs to do this too. Let him breathe fire in this. Okay, boss, but what do we do in between? I don't know. I don't give a shit. Do whatever. Just make sure all these things are in
Hold
there.
on, who's going? You gonna go first? Who's going first here right now? Who's going?
Okay, we gotta get this in order. Like,
Yeah.
Ham. I mean, Sal, go first. I like to go last.
I besides the look and the tone of this movie, there's nothing good other than Kano was probably the only good thing out of
He
this
stole
movie.
the show for sure.
He was the best character in this entire movie because he was a wisecracking smartass. Like he
Mhm.
was better. He reminded me of the Kano from the
Wolverine?
first movie, but he was also better than that Kano in the first movie.
Mm.
All these other characters just were so bland and boring, and I didn't give a shit. Like Luke Kane's only good moment was the 2 seconds that he actually had formed that dragon that
Mhm.
bit the thing, but then that was it. It's all it was. I was hoping the dragon was like gonna lift the fucker up and just like bite the shit out of him and tear him up. No, it's
Can
just like
we?
it's just lighting up the oil just to
Yeah.
burn him. It was like, okay, you wasted 2 seconds of good CGI for this shit. And
Can we
then Luke,
mention that he like was flexing so hard in each scene without a shirt?
Is
Like,
that
I did
what you
not
were
notice that.
noticing? Because I don't notice that. I
No,
don't know.
because the thing is, like, it's just so obvious. Like, he's flexing so hard that I'm like, this guy's gonna shit himself.
Right?
Shang
Mike
Tsung was
has his
boring.
priorities.
I didn't think Shang Tsung was intimidating at all. I found him very boring. I thought
Yes.
Ben Kingsley Mandarin was better than this Shang Tsung
Get
in
the
general.
fuck out of here. No, you don't.
Yeah, I do. That's why
Ben
I
Kid-
brought it up.
Mm.
Raiden
Go watch that again.
cosplay Raiden just didn't seem like a serious character to me. Like I was like, why are you here? Like I don't need you. You're just here to show off electrical effects. Like literally, this movie could have been better without you at this point because you do nothing but just teleport people. Even though you said you couldn't interfere, you still interfered. Like it was one of those stupid rules that doesn't make sense to break, at least in the context of this movie. Like
Yeah, are you forgetting the first two movies? Yeah, all the rules and all that too. I don't know.
it just didn't work with this, especially because of the characters. Cole is the worst character in this movie. Like
Whoa! Let me see.
there is nothing good about him. He is literally like Mike
He's
said,
got a
a
family.
customizable character. He's just like little me fighter from like Wii U or something. Where it's like, oh, here, I'm gonna put this armor. Why the fuck does he have armor? That doesn't make any
he's
fucking
fighting.
sense. Like it's like a golden basket covering him. Like is you from
Oh,
Narnia
yeah,
or
yeah,
something? Like I don't understand. And he doesn't even use his power that much either. He doesn't do anything but one uppercut. And then they wasted Goro. Goro and from the first Mortal Kombat movie was way more intimidating than this Goro. The only good about this Goro was the CGI, but then it was only like 2 seconds of fighting, and that was it.
No,
Goro was
Goro got
dead.
punched in the nuts in the first one. All right.
That one was better than this one.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Sub-Zero and Sub-Zero and Scorpion.
False advertisement.
Yeah, listeners, don't go into this movie thinking it's a Sub-Zero and Scorpion movie because it's not at all a Sub-Zero
Come
Scorpion
on, the
movie.
first like 10,
It-
15 minutes.
That's
were
it.
about-
And
Out of
that's it.
out of an hour and 50-minute long movie. You
Oh,
know?
they were first though.
That's worse than that's worse. That's worse than Godzilla.
And okay, and so I'm glad you brought that up because I was thinking, okay, like right, I got to think in that mentality. If I'm just here for the blood and the guts and the gore, does this still work? Because that's my excuse for the Godzilla movies. You just go in there for the monster scene and you shut the hell up about all the human stuff. I can't do the same for this because it teases you with so many cool things that could possibly, but it doesn't follow through with it. And it just has like loopholes after loopholes. Like I hated that line at the end where he's like, "Oh, but death is just another portal." I'm like, "Oh, okay, so that's your cop out for possibly bringing any of these characters." Got it. One line. Thank you for a whole probably lore behind this thing. You just wanted to just add it in there so that way you can have a sequel if you needed to. It was bad. I did not like this movie. I really wanted to like it. That's why I stayed up because I was really excited to watch it. but it just significantly disappointed me in the end.
Yeah. Ham?
I'm just gonna blame him being tired and falling asleep because it is 3 in the morning.
No, I
But
had fallen asleep at 7 and I
uh-huh.
woke up at 1.
Uh-huh.
So I had at least 6 good hours of sleep. And then when I woke up, I was like, all right, let me do some work. And then I'm ready to watch Falcon and Winter Soldier. I'm ready to watch Mortal Kombat.
If you say so. Also, I'm blaming him on being racist with the Asian characters again. Because there were more Asian characters. Well, bringing that up, the other people I saw the movie with is like the main character and Scorpion, and Scorpion's talking to him in Japanese. Is like, we don't even know if he actually speaks Japanese. Like,
Yeah, I was confused on that too.
Yeah.
He's just nodding. I'm like, okay, are you gonna
yeah,
say something to
sure.
acknowledge what he's saying, or they
The,
couldn't write a line for you here to make this make
Yeah.
sense?
the funny part was the bottom of the subtitles was like Chinese, and then it
I
switched
did see
to
that Chinese and
Japanese.
yeah,
I was
because
like, oh, okay.
yeah, well,
I mean,
because they're from different whatever. But also I did watch the Mortal Kombat series that came out forever ago. I don't even know what channel it was, but I did watch all that, which was kind of weird and interesting at the same time. Um, I like the cheese, man. Kano. I've seen the memes where he was hospitalized because he carried the movie on his back.
Yeah, but not enough to make me
No,
like the movie.
I mean, all the cheese, man. I like the cheese.
The
People
cheese
were
in Mortal
laughing.
Kombat Annihilation was better than this
Oh
cheese.
no, that was bad. Good. This was
Like the
almost
the
kind
fan
of trying to be
servicey
good.
lines in this movie was like you could like it was purposely edited to be louder and more in your face than any part of this movie.
What's
Like
not even the lines? It's the actions that they did. Oh well, yeah. Some, especially the lines were like finish or perfect or
fatality,
whatever.
finish,
Yeah,
flawless
those. Yeah,
victory.
but it was more the scenes. Like I
Like the
thought.
guy might as well have just like popped his head out of the screen and like, hey, you see what I did there? I did an Easter egg. You're welcome. Like this movie.
No, no. What he should have done it was popped his head and would have been like toasty. That's what it should have. Because if that happened, I'd lose my shit. But I don't know. I like the fight scenes. I think people really did not like this because there was no actual quote unquote Mortal Kombat tournament. I think a lot of people might have been annoyed at that. Um, which I was a little bit too, but I'm like, that doesn't really matter. Uh, Raiden's always been a weird character. Is like, oh, he's a god, but he's gonna do shit, but he's not gonna do shit. But hey, that's okay. And it's like, what? Uh, I'm surprised Shao Kahn was even briefly mentioned.
I don't think so.
I
he
don't think
was
so.
he was in the background when they show the pictures.
Oh.
Yeah, but he's still a huge character that should be maybe in another sequel if the
You're,
money says anything.
you're doing a great job of, really praising this movie.
Yeah. No, but it's all about the cheese. Like I'm coming in watching people fight, and then when Jax was fighting whoever, fuck if I know. I'm like, oh, that's a spike level. I swear that's a spike level. I'm looking. I'm like, I see
The
some
pit.
spikes. Yeah, the pit one. Not really sure about the other ones, but I still think it deserves a low yellow for sure.
I mean, if this was in the 90s still, or maybe early 2000s, sure. Because this is, this movie, what I was thinking about this is like Final Fantasy VII Remake, where it's like, it's got all the cool looks and tones and everything, and it's all great. But the only difference between the Final Fantasy remake and this remake of Mortal Kombat is that Final Fantasy remake looks obviously way better than its
Or
original
newer.
version. Like it looks updated, but they kept all the cheese and put it in the updated version, and it doesn't work well. Because I feel like the expectation, and I'll blame myself for this, because my expectation of it was this movie, it was, oh, this is gonna be actually giving us a serious story with some lore to this, so they can build upon this and make a universe, as opposed to just being like a one-time success kind of thing. Because
Mm.
why do you start a movie about like two family lines that were like at war with each other and make this so dramatic, then give us the rest of this shit. Like it didn't make sense to me.
But it's interesting too because usually Lin Kuei have more people. I don't even know the Scorpion, whatever, because the Lin Kuei has what is it, Sub Zero's brother. You have Frost, which it'd be cool to see Frost. She's always a cool character. After what, mid 2000s.
Well,
Um,
but then what also confused me too was I wasn't sure at the beginning. Is he just like starting to get used to his powers? Because you see when he starts using his ice, his fingers and shit was cracking and he was bleeding.
I think it was just taking a toll on him. I'm not sure. But I mean, he also was alive for thousands of years, so I don't think that
I
was
just
the
kind of find
case.
it funny of how Ham is defending this movie.
I'm defending this movie. It's not it. If you like Mortal Kombat, you'll go in and be like, okay,
You'll come out of that movie thinking this is
Okay.
the worst shit I've ever seen in my life.
not the worst shit.
In all your years of Mortal Kombat ism, who would you say is more intimidating to go against, Sub Zero or Sub Zero or Goro?
Sub Zero
Well, of
for
course,
me at least.
Goro.
Well, Goro is fucking scary, but the thing is that Sub Zero has shown that I don't know, like at least all the stories that I've seen is just
But no one wants to play
Goro.
as Goro. People want to play as Scorpion as Sub Zero.
You know
And I
what? No,
think
no, no,
they've
no, no.
mentioned too
Okay,
that
But I asked that because Goro has always been kind of, or at least I come from the early days of Mortal Kombat because I haven't played for
yeah,
the most recent stuff. But Goro has always been like the monster, right? Like the gigantic,
yeah, yeah,
gargantuan beast that you don't want to face
he
because it's
is
got
the
four
beast. It's
fucking
like Beauty
arms
and the
and
yeah.
it's
Beast.
gonna
That's
like
I was gonna
rip you
change.
the fuck apart.
Yeah, I was
But
gonna change my answer because I know exactly what you mean. So
but in this movie they make Sub Zero seem like a fucking beast, like a monster, like you can't kill him, he's undefeatable, and Goro like a bitch. Like it doesn't like that bothered me. I was like, but why build him up to be such a invincible god where he seems like he can almost take on Shang Tsung on his own? Like
But I think
it,
they announced that they were gonna focus on Scorpion and Sub Zero for this movie, which even
false
then they
advertisement.
yeah, that is again, yeah, I agree. False advertisement. They did not focus on that too.
we
Nope.
had it was the Scorpion lineage too and all that.
And that's it.
That's the beginning of the whole
But
love story.
Seven,
where in the
seven.
entire movie, besides the first 10 minutes and the last 10 minutes, do we get any reference back to their lineage and their war between the two?
Oh yeah, no, the flashes. When he's having the flashes with the arrow thing, he's like getting the flashes of Scorpion right there in those flashes, and left
But
and
there's
right,
no story. There's just
and the end
You know
flashes.
too.
what? I don't know which YouTuber made this joke, but I thought it was like I honestly believe this 100%. I don't know if it was Jeremy Johns or Angry Joe, but the gardening tool that became Scorpion's spear got more character development than any other character in this movie.
I'd say 75% of the characters.
Because I honestly was like, that's his spear. Oh, that's kind of cool. I get that. It's like a family thing. All right. And then yeah, it's true. Like that.
All right. So
spear got the
also I do
most.
want to point out. So Sub Zero freezes the new character's family, and they survive. I'm like, yo, Scorpion, why couldn't you save the other? You don't
I
have
mean,
your
isn't
flame
that why you
powers.
love this movie?
I don't love it, but I don't hate it.
All right, Mike, give
That's why
us
it gets a yellow.
give us your take.
All right, before I start, there was a comment that I read. It was under.
Where are
Angry,
you reading shit from?
It's a comment. It's a comment on YouTube that I checked because I had to be not like I just instantly I was like I cannot be the only one to feel this way. Like
Hold on, a comment on what on YouTube?
on YouTube, it's a YouTube video, right?
A review on the movie.
Somebody
YouTube video of cats. Okay.
of cats. Yeah, somebody wrote and I want to give him a shout out even though he's never heard of us. Nicholas Davison.
Cage? Oh.
He wrote this and I was dying laughing and he wrote this. Liu Kane's powers, the ability to control fire. Kano's powers, the ability to shoot lasers from his eye. Sonya's powers, fire sweet looking plasma rings from her wrist. Cole's power, a fucking shirt. 10 out of 10. This movie, honestly, I didn't have any expectations going into it, and then I just came out of it like, what the fuck would that I just watched? I disagree. Okay. So I disagree with Sal with one thing. Um, I think everyone's hyping up Kano, and Kano didn't do nothing for me because of how bland of how this movie is and all the other characters. I was like, this like Kano cannot be the only character to actually play his part, while everyone else is just fucking cosplay people, just saying that they're Luke Kane or they're Raiden, and they don't do any of the Mortal Kombat characters lore, nothing whatsoever. The first half of this movie is good with Scorpion and Sub Zero backstory, and then once it gets to the second phase, the movie doesn't know what it wants to do. Like, we have like this training scene that doesn't go anywhere. We have these people getting these powers that doesn't explain of, okay, for wouldn't you already have these powers already? Wouldn't you be training your wouldn't you No, this movie doesn't know what it wants to do, and then when the movie actually picks up, it ends. It just ends. That ending was kind of cool, but it didn't last long. It's not satisfying. This movie was bad. Honestly, I wanted to give this a Becky card. I was about to.
Oh, Becky, get the fuck out of
There's
here.
nothing. There's nothing. As a Mortal Kombat fan, this movie is a disgrace. A disgrace. And honestly, I was like, this movie should have came out in 2010, when the time year of when Street Fighter, The Legend of Chun Li, and Tekken.
Oh no, you do not compare this to
Yes.
The Legend of Chun Li. That is garbage.
But
No.
But this movie just felt like it should have came out in that time frame, and it's just doing the most like just the most stupidest thing ever. Like, and I was confused about the baby. I'm like, wait, okay, so the baby had so it was a female, had a family, and that family went down, and then Cole's born. Right? Am I right? I don't know.
I don't know how many generations it was.
It was a lot of generations. Because,
It was a lot of generations,
yeah.
and Cole is the worst
Yep.
character, the worst character in a movie that I've ever seen.
In a movie?
Yes. Or in a game ever. He doesn't bring anything to the table. He is so bland. He has these powers of a fucking armor shirt. First, I was like, wait, is that what was that character? Kenji's son? I'm gonna mess up his name.
Takashi 6ix9ine?
I think his name is Takeda. I think, yeah, Takeda. Where he has like this cool power that he trained with Scorpion, these whips, whatever. But I was like, oh, I would have preferred. I don't know if they're trying to copy him because he has an armor like that, sort of. And then I don't know where Coles comes out with these other like sword things in his hands. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And then he has like the ability to sort of beat Sub-Zero with Scorpion, and I was not satisfied whatsoever. I'm never going to see this movie again, and I don't want a sequel.
Yeah,
like if they're gonna make a sequel, they better let fucking Ed Boon to fucking direct it or actually write the script of a good movie. Because
did anybody see any money thing compared to anything? Any articles on it or anything?
How much money made? I don't know. The budget was 55. Box office 50.1.
Only 50. The 55 million ain't shit nowadays. God.
That's the budget for the movie.
50 million?
No, that's what I'm saying. 55 million for a movie? That's not much for Hollywood.
And then
nowadays.
it's only made 50 in the box office.
Yeah, and also too, guys, the music
worldwide or
I think it's worldwide right now. But either way,
okay.
Music is non-existent in this movie whatsoever.
Yeah, I pulled a ham at the end of this movie. I was like, oh wait, was there music in this movie?
I swear I heard music.
I'm sure there was.
Yeah,
it wasn't memorable.
It wasn't memorable. It was like the most basic thing ever. I don't know. But
you didn't hear the Mortal Kombat, like the little.
But that's the ending of the credits, though.
I think I put
Was
that
it?
as my ringtone and
Yes.
just called myself during the movie.
Well, good thing you weren't in the theaters.
Oh man, I mean, we could easily break down these characters. I don't know. Did you guys
There's
like
no
Jax?
no,
Also,
I
yeah,
didn't.
you just brought up Jax. So I was like, his Kashi or Kai or whatever was to be more metal.
Yeah, I know. His
Yeah.
what is it? Arcana or
I
whatever.
got some
Okay,
dumb shit.
so explain to me this, Batman. All right. Since you love this movie so much,
Yeah.
do they get their power because of the Arcana?
Mhm.
Or do they already have it? Like everyone has Arcana or Arcana, whatever it's called. Everyone has it.
if you have
Now,
the
answer my
symbol,
question.
if you have the symbol, you eventually grow the Arcana. But if you're Sona Blade, you get it like that after you get the symbol and then the Arcana.
Okay, well, so again, explain this to me. And I was gonna bring it up, which you already answered before, and you know that's bullshit. That in like instantly she already gets her
Oh, I know.
shit.
Yeah,
Well,
because
fine, whatever. But then does that mean Kano loses his? Like he does not have it anymore, or can he still use it? Because if he can still use it in the sequel, there's a fucking loophole there.
Isn't
Because
he
I thought you
dead?
can't have that. Oh, but again, that's why I
He's
hated
coming
that fucking
back.
line at the end. Death is just another portal to whatever. Fuck you. You're just saying that because you're hoping you can bring him back for a sequel. Like that's why we have Scorpion. The whole death is a portal to another world thing. He's
But
not
he never
dead.
grew his. He never grew his in the first place. Before
Another
he died.
thing, can I just mention? I would have liked when this guy Hanzo, when he took out his mask. I would have liked for him half of his face to be a skull, just
It
like how
was when he burned the motherfucker down a little bit.
But still, though, like he kept on taking off his mask. I was like, stop taking off your fucking mask and just fight. Like, who gives a fuck? Just kill him.
Who gives a fuck? Yes, who cares?
Like, who gives a fuck?
But when
Like,
he burns him,
I mean,
you see the skull.
To be honest,
barely.
when that
Yeah.
last fight scene came up, I couldn't care anymore about the
Yep,
war
me
between
neither.
the two family lines because I was like, you invested nothing into this other than the first 10 minutes of the movie. And maybe that's, Ham, you can call me out on this one because I don't know if you guys knew this. They released the first 10 minutes of the movie before the movie came out.
Whoa,
And
whoa,
so-
whoa! Who
Yeah.
saw that?
I did. I watched it. I was like,
Whoa,
oh, because
whoa,
I
whoa.
was excited for the movie. I was like, oh, I'm gonna watch this because I want to get hyped. And I saw it. I was like, oh, this is how it's gonna be. Okay, this is gonna be good. And then after that 10 minutes was over, that's when just it all went downhill. And it's like, wait, you built me up for this for nothing, just to follow some customizable character throughout this Mortal Kombat like bootleg movie that I'm watching right now. And then when he comes to the fight scene, it's like I could care less for what happened between your two families because you said nothing about what happened.
Wait. So the actual studio released it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
the
an official
actual
clip
studio.
out.
Yeah, it was an official clip. That was
That's like a switch and bait. I don't know.
They-
That's a switch and
Exactly.
bait.
they released the best part of the movie.
Yeah, I
The best part.
know.
For me, honestly, and
Shame.
also too, honestly too, the reason why I'm not giving Kano a lot of credit, you could easily just replace him with Johnny Cage.
Good old Johnny Cash.
I would disagree on that. Johnny Cage
I-
isn't that much of like a, I don't know. I guess it's because of his foul mouth that makes him different than Johnny. Because Johnny Cage is more of like a full of himself, egotistical. Like he thinks he's the hot shot kind of guy. Kano is just a fucking dick. Like there's a difference between those two.
But
I agree.
it's just I don't know. It's just
But
to me,
there's a close resemblance, though.
there sort of
very-
is. That's why. But the thing is, like, I just think the whole thing with Kano, I didn't understand. Of okay, you arrested Kano because, of course, he's a bad person, but then you let him join your group. Like you should have saw that coming. Like you should have not.
I'm
trust
sure
him.
everyone who's a fan knew that was coming.
And that's such a big plot hole. Like,
Well, you mean like Spider-Man and Mysterio? What are you
yeah,
talking about?
like that. No. It's
No,
not
no, no,
Spider-Man. No, it's not like Spider-Man Mysterio.
Everyone
Yeah,
knows Mysterio's a bad guy. What are you gonna be? Oh, he's
Sonya
he's
Blade
bad.
knows that he's a bad guy too. Cole knows he's a bad guy as well. If Raiden is the god of thunder where he sees everything, he should have known that Kano was a
Well,
bad
technically, I
person
don't know if
either.
he sees
And
everything,
also
but-
too, Luke Cage should know that he was a bad guy too because he was stealing something and he saw him steal it. He's like, put that back. So how the fuck you gonna tell me in the end, oh my god, he turned bad? What
Oh
the
wait,
fuck?
hold up.
Kiss my ass.
Can he come back then if he stole that? I don't even know what the fuck that was. They didn't
No,
explain that at
he's
all.
coming back because they don't die anymore. Do you not listen to what I just said?
Yeah, because you got
Death
round
is just
two.
another
You
portal.
got round two.
Death is just another portal.
Fight.
I don't know. I disagree. I disagree with everything. I just disagree with the
I
movie.
disagree with everything. Yeah, whether right or wrong. I disagree with
Listeners,
everything.
I don't recommend watching this movie. I think the first Mortal Kombat movie is miles better than this
Oh
new
yeah.
2021 movie. So if you're gonna watch a Mortal Kombat movie, watch the original, 90s version movie. That one will, yeah, it's cheese, but it fits the tone and style of the cheese and not tries to be like super serious about itself. Although I feel like that storyline was more serious than this storyline.
I'll
And
take
then
it up.
and I,
I'll take it
and
up
then
a bit. I think Annihilation is better.
I think
No,
Annihilation is
get the
better
fuck
too.
out of here.
I
Get
like
the
Annihilation
fuck
better
out
than
of
this
here.
one. So
No.
there you go.
But
Two reds and a green card, despite what Ham says.
I said yellow. But great. Now this guy, I already forgot. I do
That's
recommend
how
the
I
movie
felt like about
if
the
you have
movie.
HBO Max, and it's already there. So yeah, watch it.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
don't. I don't
Well,
recommend this.
we'll take a short break here, and then we'll talk about Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Mike,
Fuck who?
Intermission.
copyright. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the second Marvel series to premiere on Disney Plus, followed right after WandaVision and then right before Loki. Although we don't get Loki until June, which
Nah,
I
get the
guess
fuck out of here.
Disney Plus's fill-in is
Red
Star
card.
Wars: The Bad Batch, because that technically starts the following week, May
May
4th.
4th.
Yeah, May 4th.
May 4th.
So
Be with
Falcon
you.
and the Winter Soldier, 6 episodes long. A couple of the episodes were an hour. A couple of the episodes were like 45 minutes. So they're
They're
doing
decent more than fucking
Eh.
WandaVision.
but they're doing that bullshit thing where there's no like set time frame of how long each episode is. It's like, we're gonna make this an hour. We're gonna make this one half an hour. Let's just do whatever we feel like.
Yeah.
Like I don't like that. It irritates me. But whatever. IMDb gave it a 7.6 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
Rotten Tomatoes, an 88%.
Ooh.
There's no Metacritic score. I don't know why. I guess Metacritic. I don't know anything about Metacritic, so yeah. I don't know.
Disney has them hostage.
But again, none of that shit matters. Oh, the only thing that matters is Ham 6 Google users out there.
Hey, what up?
92% liked this TV show.
That's the 92% that I like.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier are a mismatched duo who team up for a global adventure that will test their survival skills as well as their patience.
Doing
Came
spoilers?
out March 19th. Yeah, this is gonna be all
Of course
spoiler
we are.
filled. March 19th it started. Just released the last episode the same day as Mortal Kombat on the 23rd. Same thing. We'll give our cards and then talk about the series as a whole, point out our favorite parts, least favorite parts, and we'll go from there. So card only, Mike.
Yeah, but before I review my card, listeners, go watch the show and come back. It's gonna be a fun discussion as well.
Don't.
Yellow card.
Ham.
Green.
It's a fucking gold card for me.
Yeah, boy. Of course you use Marvel for gold. I'm not surprised.
I'm not surprised too.
So where do you guys want to start?
I'm not surprised. I was like, he's gonna give it a green, or I won't be surprised if he uses gold. Ham, you owe me $10.
Okay,
but
Mike, we'll start with you. So what brought it down to a yellow for you?
Okay, I want to talk about the pros, right? No, oh my god. So the pros that I have for this is definitely Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the two main heroes. you have these two characters where you have Falcon, where his character, you will think that his character is already fully developed, but the show takes it up a notch, where it shows about
Sounds
his
like a good show.
like it shows like a good his good family side and everything like that, and what he's willing to do to take the next step where he doesn't feel like he deserves it, but he does. And I love what they did with the Winter Soldier Bucky, where after Civil War you have no idea where's Bucky mindset is at, and this show takes you there where what he has been training and what he's still struggling, but he's still trying to recover and trying to make up all the bad things that he did and everything. And there was a couple of good character. There was one good character that I liked that they introduced his backstory. I thought it was very deep. It was Isaiah, right? That's his name.
Isaiah Bradley.
Isaiah Bradley. I really did like that character. And the struggles that he went through. It was actually really deep and meaningful. And I did like the action scenes with the Falcon. I thought it was really cool. And I like the message that he was bringing out, because it's going to be a big thing when now that it's fully out there. Because in the end of the show, it's the Captain America and the Winter Soldier. Falcon is the new Captain America, and we all knew that. And it's going to be the most the most talk thing that some people are very arrogant. They'll be like, "Oh no, Captain America's white," but no, he's I think the Falcon is perfect for this. It's awesome. I was actually really happy to see this. That's what I came for this show for. Just like for that moment. And it's really really cool. I really did like that a lot. I really do like the training scenes that he did. It was really cool. Um, what was another thing? I lost my train of thought now. Crap.
So get to the stuff that
You
you don't like.
motherfucker.
So the things that I don't like. I was excited that they were bringing back the super soldiers that were hinted in the Civil War. I was excited
They
for
did.
they brought it back. They did. But I think they did it poorly. I don't I was not happy of or not satisfied of the direction that they took. I don't like the what's her name? What's the girl's name? The leader of the super
Carly.
soldiers,
The
Carly.
redhead.
Carly. I don't like her at all. I was celebrating that she died
Yeah,
in the
because
end.
she had a Harley Quinn name. That's why.
Is it Carly or what was her name again?
It's Carly. Carly.
Carly. Okay. I I didn't know what to really expect from this character. I don't know if the show was trying to make me feel sorry for her or go against her. It was a mix of emotion things that I just didn't care about. Like, I understand what she was going through and I understand what she was trying to do, but I don't think the story, like, they explained it really well. I don't think they did her character well. Like, I'm not saying the casting. I think the casting is cool, is good. Like, I think the actress did a good job. But I'm just talking about like the writing of this character was very just, I don't know, I was not interested in it at all, like whatsoever. And the other super soldier kids were they were just whatever, you know. Um and then the new Captain America, John Walker, he was okay.
Johnny Walker.
Johnny Walker, he was okay. I don't
Okay, I'm drinking.
I thought he was okay. I don't know. I was just like, okay, he's apparently the new Captain America. And sure. But he turned out to be something else. As I don't know what's the name of his cell. Like what
U.S. agent.
U.S. agent. I have no idea who that is. My
USA
Marvel.
TSA agent.
Yeah. He's okay. Of course, we're gonna see him a lot more later on. So hopefully they do a better job with his character. I just didn't really care, and the whole part of him killing that super soldier, I thought I was like overhyped. I was like, okay, he killed somebody. That's, I mean, so does everybody else, but they don't make it seem graphic like he did. But okay. And you guys are gonna hate me. It was cool to see Zemo.
I said the same already.
It was cool to see Zemo, but I think they brought him to the show just for character development, where he didn't get none of that in Civil War. And it was just more like, hey, by the way, Zemo's like this. And of course, like, he hates super soldiers and he wants to get rid of it and blah, blah, blah. But I just didn't see the point of him as much as I wish I did. Um, Other than that, the fighting scenes it's a little bit shaky cam with the Winter Soldier. It's hard to see some of the fights. Um, uh, Other than that, I think it is a I think for me it's a better show than WandaVision. Um, I do recommend watching this because of course it's part of the Marvel universe. You have to watch it so you could be caught up with everything else. But I guess I had expectations, and I mean, I wanted to say it's my fault, but I was just really, really excited of what this will bring. Episode 1, 2, and 5 are my favorite, especially episode 5 of Sam training with the Shield. My least favorite episode has to be probably, I don't know, episode 4 or 6. But yeah, like I thought the show was okay.
All right, Ham
Uh,
takes on the show.
I do seem like I mean I like Zemo. That's the first thing I'm gonna mention, but they do make him a little bit more. What's the word? A little bit more delightful. He wasn't that much in the movies or that one movie. He was a very serious character. There wasn't that much backstory, but also there wasn't like anything implying that he was sort of a light character. I mean, there is some scenes where he is talking about his ideology and all that, but they sort of retcon his seriousness. I mean, he's a delight in this, whereas in Captain America: The Winter Soldier, you don't see that side of him. Did he have it in there? I don't think so. Did the writers think that in the future that advanced? No. Um, I don't like the wrap up of the Winter Soldier. I think they didn't focus on him a lot, especially at the end. He was just helping um, the new Captain America. I don't think we could have focused a little bit more on him and see what could have happened, especially at the end scene. It's like, all right, he told them, and then what's gonna happen? Is he gonna still hang out with him? Probably not the way it was shot, but what else in his future is gonna make him a better character? So I don't know. That was a little iffy, but this was more focus on Sam, the main character. I Of course it's a green. I thought they did a lot of things well with all the side characters. Well, maybe one or two. Louise Dreyfus cameo was very interesting. I was like, oh, she's in this. Hopefully she doesn't get the big salad. Yeah, exactly. Oh, and to be fair, I just looked it up the other day. The clown in that scene with the fire episode with George, that was John Favreau.
Oh my god! All right,
Yeah,
enough with the Seinfeld stuff.
I had to. I don't know why. Other than that, probably worst character is because they didn't develop him. Him was the guy who was helping Sam. I thought it was weird. I know what he was, but that was weird. And the John Walker, he was he was he was fun to hate. Like even everyone online or whatever you saw, they just loved to hate him for no reason. But it's what happens when you try to put even in real life. Like I said, if whoever becomes Wolverine in a movie is gonna hate him, whereas this is supposed to be real life, whoever you put next as a Captain America, people are gonna hate him. I don't know in the show though how many people loved him versus how many people hate him, but our main characters definitely hated him. So there's that. No, that's all. I liked everything in it. Um, Scenes were cool. I mean, of course, there's gonna be a lot of flying scenes because Yeah, yeah.
Why?
Green
Because
card.
he's black.
No,
Yeah, you
because
idiot.
he is the captain now, and
Bad
we'll see
reference.
him back in Captain America 4.
Uh, yeah. I mean, that was green lidded, green light. I don't know what
That's why I
what the
gave it a green
past
card.
tense what the past tense form it is, but yeah, they did announce Captain America 4 is happening with, of course, Anthony Mackie
Sean
being
Walker.
Captain America. Yeah, possibly. You don't know. I mean, it's Kurt
Yeah,
Russell's
right.
son. I'm pretty sure Kurt Russell's got some strings he can pull
Oh,
there.
is it? I did not know
Yeah,
that.
yeah, that was Kurt Russell's son.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, so none of y'all really got into it. Ham was trying to, I think, but
I
never
didn't
got
want to.
into
Yeah,
it.
I mean, I was
But
waiting.
that's kind of the reason why I liked it. So I'll start with my cons because I don't have very many cons. I did think the final episode was very choppy in a sense that it kind of wrapped everything too
At the
nice.
end, yeah.
It's like here's 5 minutes of this to wrap this up. Here's another 5 minutes of this to wrap this up, and then so on and so forth. And I agree, they didn't give Bucky Barnes enough like of a closure in this episode. Like I really wanted to see that conversation happen and not just like the beginning of it because I mean, Sebastian Stan like is pulling some serious acting skills in this series. I thought,
Mm-hmm.
like especially the scene where he's in that little he's in that scene with the Wakandan where she's like trying to test him to see if he's still going to be controlled by that code. But
Yeah.
like the emotion that comes out of him is I thought was fucking intense.
I thought that wrapped up
The
fast too. Yeah.
Sharon Carter's backstory I wish was there because we don't understand why she has this motive really. Like I get like she's pissed that she can't come back to America after helping the
Mm,
betrayal and everything, but to the level of just being like a flip a 180 being a super villain in a way, like it just doesn't make sense. And I'm assuming that they're saving that for either the movie or another
something.
with her. Same thing with oh man, who was another character that came in here that I thought they were saving some room for? I think Zemo was also another character which he pulls the mask from the car and it almost has like this serious moment where there's some backstory there and the mask is an iconic thing in the comics and so they didn't really delve into that because he is a likable
Mm,
character in here. I thought he was a likable
yeah.
character.
Yes.
Whether the
Yeah, he
dancing won
is.
it for you at all, like everyone
Yeah.
loved him at the dancing. But what I liked about this take was there's a comic book run. I don't know if Mike, if you read it, it's the Superior Foes of Spider-Man,
Oh
where it's
no.
literally all his like B-list villains, and they're just at the bar drinking. They're like playing
Oh,
poker.
cool.
They're like talking about shit. They're like regular freaking guys, and yet they have like these powers of like jetpacks and throwing boomerangs and shit, and they're just regular people, even though sometimes they're villains, and that's why I kind of like this take on thing where yeah he's a super serious villain but they kind of showed the he wants to go out and party kind of guy. So I did like what they did with him, but I think there's a lot of his backstory that still needs to be there that they need to address. Same thing with that's the other character, John Walker's character. I felt like wasn't exactly
Mm,
justified why he's so corrupt. Like they keep talking about this instant in the war where he got his medals from, but they don't exactly detail what happened or what choice that he had to make. And I think if we had that, then his whole corruption like progress would have been more logical, I think, other than well he's just going to turn bad because he's supposed to be the mirror image of Captain America or whatever. So
I mean,
um
yeah, they focus about that, like, oh, the good guy. If you're good, then you're gonna be better. If you're bad, you're gonna be worse. But
right.
also, I feel like it was more of a whatever it was, simile, symbolism, metaphor for someone dealing with PS P. Ooh, I'm drinking.
PTSD.
Yes, thank you. Especially when his partner did get killed, that
Yeah.
lit it up. But he had this way before, and I think it shows a little bit. Especially when we're talking about, hey, if you had this super, soldier syndrome back then, would you have done it to save the guys? He's like, yeah. So I think the war did, for better, for worse words, it fucked him up. So I don't know.
The it's so weird for me because I going into this series I knew I was going to like it, but it wasn't it wasn't my favorite series. I was like I wanted to see Loki. I remember having this discussion with you guys when we were watching the
I'm
trailers
worried
after
about Loki.
the Disney Plus investor investment day, whatever.
Yeah,
When they showed all the trailers, I was like, Loki is like seems like the go-to show. Like I want to watch Loki more than the other two.
I'm worried
But
about
Falcon
Loki.
and the Winter Soldier, I it has that same tone and themes that the Winter Soldier did. The Captain America, the Winter Soldier, like the way that
Really?
everything
I
was
didn't feel that.
everything that it was like stylized, the fight scenes, the representation of it, the fact that it tried to do a very political thing and try to make it grounded in a superhero like media, just it felt very natural. And it's weird because like you I think that's what people don't expect is like, if I'm going to watch a superhero movie, don't put politics into my like superhero movie. Like I don't want that
I
shit.
know you. I know you. I was waiting for that. I'm like, this guy hates that shit.
I do. And but it's weird. That's why it's so weird for me to actually love that part
Yeah,
about
well, I
this
was waiting for
series.
it. I'm like,
The racism and the political aspects of this movie, just it literally, like I hate to say that it shoves it in your face, but I feel like it doesn't do it as like blatantly obvious as like all the other stuff that you would find in media. Like it's, you don't expect that going into a superhero series at all whatsoever, right? I just thought, okay, it's just going to be, you know, Sam Wilson doubting his skills maybe, or his like personality of being Captain America, not the fact that we're going to talk about a black man being Captain America, because that is a huge fucking deal. Like everything about racism in this series is legitimately true, whether people want to believe it or not. Like that whole speech he gave in the last episode, I didn't feel like was a speech to the crowd in the
the
series. I thought it
viewers.
was, yeah, it was a message to everybody. Because I also then started thinking it's not about being a black person, it's about being any kind of race, any kind of color, any kind of culture, and being like, you know, where, how does America see it? How does America treat you? And I like that line of like, why can't we just talk, why can't we ask them why they're doing this? You know, we call them terrorists, but you know what they're calling us? Like they're calling us terrorists too, because we're essentially doing the same thing. Like it brought a lot of, I think, of serious issues that unfortunately I think Americans don't, and yeah, this is a judgment call, people can hate me for this, but I just, Americans don't want to get into those conversations. America doesn't want to believe that we're corrupt and that we're, you know, that we're so negative on a lot of things. Like America just wants to be like John Walker, where it's like, I am America, I am this, I am what you make me, I am this omnipotent being,
Omnipotent.
and
Yeah.
nothing is wrong with me, which is blatantly false. There's a lot of things wrong in America that people just tend to ignore, and unfortunately, you know, the people that make the decisions about where our country goes, or you know, whatever happens to the people that we treat coming in here, it comes down to, well, who's in that room voting? You know, none of the people that's being impacted is in that room. So how do we know for sure this is the best for those people? Like I can go on and on about this because I feel like this series has so many different layers and different aspects of like being representing America and the people of the country, that I don't think like there's enough time to really get into it, no matter whether we do a podcast, a YouTube video, 6 episodes, 7 episodes in. Like there was just so much to take in from this series, and I think that's why I loved it so much.
But I do even agree with, even in the comics in real life, people are like, "Oh, Black Captain America," and people were losing their fucking shit for a fake, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was just like, "All right, this even sums up what in a comic book happened to a character that we know and people love," and it's like, well, let's change him, and that's happened with other superheroes like Spider-Man, right? And I don't even read comics, barely, like 1%. And I kept hearing the same shit over and over again. I'm like, the fuck? Like, he was born in America? Cool. Got America. Let's do this.
And I really like that this one really tried to make sure that this Captain America was Sam Wilson Captain America, and not Sam Wilson being Steve Rogers Captain America. Because there's a lot of like moments where you think he's gonna say like this, usual line that Captain America would say or do something that Captain America
Oh
would
yeah,
do,
yeah,
but he
yeah.
doesn't do it.
Yeah.
He does it his own way. Like Sam Wilson has been always about like talking people down, and that's why I love that moment between him and Carly, where he's having that conversation and having these ideas, like talking about their ideals and what it means to be a supremacist and why you're considered a supremacist, or and kind of tricks her into saying that she is one without really, intentionally doing that. She comes to her own like I that was Sam Wilson's skill. That's when we first see him in the Winter Soldier, where he's leading a group and talking about faith and talking about how to be a better person, and they still carry that tone for Sam Wilson throughout this entire series, and that's him being his Captain America, still being like I'm trying to figure out how I phrased this earlier in my head, because I saw the series twice. Well, technically 1.5 times, because my girlfriend didn't watch the last 4 episodes, and so we literally just finished watching them right before I came on to record this.
Yes.
And it was very much that Captain America was like Steve Rogers. Captain America was very naive to the world. Like he was still learning things as he went. He understood that there was corruption and this was new to him. Sam Wilson has a more modern like view on what America is
Mm-hmm.
and what a world is, and so now he's able to use that to his advantage, and he doesn't want to get into fight, because that's the problem with America and other countries, is that we just go into fight. We just fight, war all the time. No, we need
Mm-hmm.
to step back and just talk things out and figure things out and start understanding why we're coming from these things.
Also, this episode actually brought me to the realization when the blip happened. Steve Rogers starts doing what Sam does
Yep.
because of him, and I was like, "Oh shit! I never put two and two together." I'm like, "Oh, okay. He helped him. Now he wants to help other people, but he's still thinking about him." And then, yeah, it took me a hot second, but I figured it out.
And I like that
Yeah.
conversation they had in the series where Carly's whole thing was, things were better during the blip, and now things got worse when the blip when people started coming back. It was like things were a much better world. So Thanos did actually create a better world
Interesting.
by
Yep.
disseminating half the population, because right, everyone's in despair, everyone's on the same playing field, so now everyone's coming together. But now that everyone's back, now people are being forced to like move back to where they're from, forced out of their homes. It's like, damn, like you want to think that these guys are bad guys, but I kind of was like, they're kind of right. Like they were a weak part of this series, but I think they weren't meant to be like super villainy terrorist kind of level. They were just like it's exactly what they mentioned at the last episode. It's just a teenager, a regular person who believed in this ideology and was able to overthrow governments based on her belief. And I don't think she like I know Mike, you said that she wasn't your favorite character because why again?
I just didn't know what the exactly what they were trying to do with this character. Like I just kept on. She was just just crying, just weeping all the
Thought
whole
she was
time.
whining.
Yeah, I thought she was just whining, and
Yeah, I can kind of see that.
I don't know. I wanted something. I wanted something else from that character. I wanted something else from that group. You know what I mean? Like, oh, not everything needs to be all like ruthless and what did they describe the first guy? He was like more of a brute guy. Like he's just
Yeah.
like all force and everything. And I was hoping for something like that for her. Yeah, of course she could fight. She has these super the super soldier syrup serum.
I heard that. I was like, I'm gonna let that one slide.
I'll
But
put that
yeah,
on my
she,
waffles.
she got the juice. You know what I mean? Like she got that juice,
Mm-hmm.
but the thing is, like, I don't know, like, I wasn't interested at all in the character or anybody. Like I said, I kind of like it sounds messed up, but I clapped in the end when she got killed.
But
I was like, finally.
But that's
Well, no, also,
and then going back to my what I was saying though, I don't think she was meant to be that way, because I think what they were trying to do was prove that it doesn't take someone in high power or someone with a lot of money or someone with superpowers to be to be I guess an opposing force against the world. It just takes someone with a belief. So that's why he compared Thanos to her. It's like they both had a belief that they were adamant about going for, and they brought people together to go forth with that belief.
And
And
that bothered me when he said that.
I liked it. I thought it was
I don't
true.
know.
I thought it was great. The Captain America bloody scene, I thought that was a big deal because he's supposed to represent America. He's in a
Yeah.
different country, and he just literally killed, like brutalized a person in front of everyone, and it's on cameras and it's televised. That's why they made it a big deal after the fact, where Torres was like saying, "Yeah, it's an international incident. Like it's a huge fucking deal. Like they're taking over, and now they got control over everything, and they have to do damage control. Like that's literally like if we were to send nukes over to another country, that's kind of like the same perspective. I think that's up what they're having is like, yeah, America just comes into our country and kills people. Like that's fucked up. And I think that's what they were trying to turn that spin around
Ain't
in the
wrong.
series.
No, I'm playing with you. No, but
yeah,
no, I don't know. It's just to me was it's just so hard of what I was expecting. It's I think the direction that where they were trying to go with the show for me was pretty good, was cool, but I just think to me was the delivery of it wasn't as satisfying as I thought it will be. The part of him with the bloody shield and everything like that, like don't get me wrong, like that the fight between Falcon, Winter Soldier versus John, that was actually pretty cool. That was actually like something I wish it was like that sort of during the whole entire show for me. But I don't know. I just felt like okay, he just killed somebody with the shield because he killed his best friend and everything like that. But I don't know. I thought it was okay.
Whoa, buddy. But also I do want to point out so whatever her name is, Agent Carter. Let's just say
yeah.
that, or Agent
I mean
13,
Sharon
whatever.
Carter, yes.
Sharon, yeah. Oh,
Sharon
I said
Carter.
Agent Carter. She gets shot. Oh, but somebody with a super serum gets shot and dies. I'm like,
Yeah. She's the power broker. I mean,
eh.
oh,
But
spoilers in case that wasn't obvious from the beginning.
oh yeah, that was so obvious.
I mean, but they also left it open where she could be working for them.
You think so?
They never said
No,
that she like,
they called her the power broker, so of course.
Wait, when?
Carly calls her the power. No, Batroc calls her the power broker.
And Carly does call her that too.
Yeah, but she never.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
I know the loophole you're talking about because technically she never confirmed that she's the power broker.
And she also talks to somebody at the end, and
Yeah, but that could be her
is-
henchman, though.
Hopefully, I mean, she was talking to somebody the entire time. Maybe it was the person at the.
I thought it was just her servants.
No,
Well, no, yeah, it
she's
could
the
have been. It
power
could have been the
broker.
person at the. What was it? The storage place.
To me, she's a power broker because once Carly was like, "Oh, power broker, I need your help," and she came out, and then the guy's like, "Oh, so you are the power broker," and then Carly threatened her like, "If no, he threatened George St. Pierre. That's the by the way, that's George St. Pierre.
Yeah, no, it took me
you know.
1 second or two.
He threatened her saying like, "Oh, I'm going to tell the whole world," and then she shot him, and then she got shot, and Carly got shot, and Carly died, and she didn't. And also too, she's a power broker, so she's like sort of like backing these super soldiers up. But then, like in episode 3, she's killing super soldiers to cover herself. So like, wasn't that like shouldn't that already be like a red flag for Carly? Like she's willing to kill her own like kill Carly's people to cover her up.
Yeah, but she didn't know beforehand. I guess maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh, I did want to bring up that I liked how unique Sam Wilson's fighting style is. The fact that he uses his jetpack in
That's
his fights,
cool.
and he
Mhm.
spreads out his wings and closes them whenever he fucking wants to. Like, I thought they did his choreography extremely well and made sure that he was, they represented what he's good at into his fight style.
But do you guys do understand what I mean by the Winter Soldier? How like I just felt like it was like shaky cam.
I noticed a little bit of that, depending on this some of the scenes. Yeah,
Like the ending was too much. Like it was like this guy threw a punch and then he threw a punch and then that guy threw another punch, but it was like back and forth, like instantly, like where I couldn't see the fight clearly.
That reminds me of Transformers, but I'm trying to a specific scene.
Yeah, I don't know that. I don't know. I didn't notice it. I don't know. I didn't like. I don't know. I didn't notice any of it. I thought everything was clear to me. Like, and I watched it twice, and I still saw
You
everything.
gotta watch it a third time.
I might. I'm actually in the middle of rewatching all the Captain America movies, so
I
You
did
make
that
me
before.
sick.
Winter
actually, I would do
Soldier is
that.
such a good fucking movie.
I
and
know. I
this-
told you that. I
This
think
series
when we
like,
did all of
reminded
them,
me. The
yeah.
series reminded me so much of Winter Soldier, and I just
I don't
was like,
see
damn.
that at all, man. I don't. I wish I saw that, but
It's the political aspect to it. That's what it is. It's the political aspect to it. That's what's been that's been a thing throughout all the Captain America movies. Is the political politics behind it, and the fact, and that's what really blew me out of the water with this series was I did not think they were gonna do that. I did not think they were just gonna hit
no, especially
racism
on
off the first
Disney
episode.
Plus. Yeah,
And at the very
I like
first
that they did
episode,
that though.
yeah,
I
do
like
too.
that.
That's why I love this series. But like I said, I did not expect that.
Me neither.
It was just going to be
Right.
like, oh, Sam Wilson's doubting that he can't think he's good enough as Steve Rogers. Blah blah blah. Nope, it's about being a black person or a person of color in or representing
mouth.
America. Because yeah,
Well, wasn't like one of the random people, like one of the crowds, were like the Black Falcon.
yeah.
yeah. Right. They said that a couple times or whatever.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't know.
I've-
I mean, I do recommend the show for people to watch it to stay updated with the whole Marvel series, and I am really excited. I hope the Russo brothers direct that new Captain America movie.
It's, I don't know if they're directing. I think it's directed by the same person that directed this series, or at least I know that they're writing. They're the
Really?
same writers. Yeah.
Mm.
I was gonna say that there's a bunch of Easter eggs throughout this entire thing.
Yes.
There's Madripoor, which is a famous like it's more referenced in the X-Men comics, but it's like basically exactly how they
Wolverine, yeah.
represented. It's just like the slums, like you got your low lifes there. You got
That's where I live.
you got you got Torres, who becomes Falcon eventually in the
that.
comics. You also got Isaiah Bradley's nephew, becomes U.S. Patriot, I think, or something like that.
The Young Avengers, or
Yeah, part of the Young Avengers. Trying to think. Isaiah Bradley is also a reference. Baron Zemo's mask. I'm trying to
which
think.
that was only that was how do you 3 seconds, 5 seconds? How?
Yeah,
what-
that was like literal fan service of
Yeah.
like, yeah, this wasn't needed, but we knew you guys wanted to see this anyway, so here you go. The other one was Julia Louis-Dreyfus's character, Val, is Madam Hydra in the comics.
I've seen that.
So there's inklings there that possibly Hydra, well, most
So
likely Hydra's
she
coming
is
back.
bad.
She doesn't exactly claim to be part of the government, which that I don't know if this was intentional, but I love the fact that her card, her business card was black and white, because she talks about like how the shield is a literal gray area, but yet her card is black and white. Like I just thought the irony there was I thought it was intentional. That
Went
no one
over my head.
I thought it was funny when I was like, oh, I get that. And I'm trying to think what else is in this. The doctor, the one that created Super Soldier Serum after the blip, he's also part of the
The
comics.
Tinker.
No, he's not the Tinker. No. I'm trying
You
to
messed
think.
up my moment.
I'm sure there's more and more. That's I like this the way that Marvel did this series. Like they filled in so many things. Like even if you're not a comic book person, you kind of get hooked onto the comic book ideals. Like White Wolf, they called him White Wolf like I think once or twice.
No,
in the
they
series.
call him White Panther 1.2.
They called him White Wolf like once or twice in the series, and the only reference we get of him being White Wolf at all in the movies was like a post-credit scene in Black Panther, I think, and that was it. So I just like that they have like these drawbacks or these throwbacks to callbacks. That's what the other things from the other movies. So, all right, I know I've talked my ear off on this one. I have more to say, but
Oh,
yeah,
no,
just
no,
mine.
no.
I mean, I can literally talk about this and all the symbolism and everything for hours. So I'm gonna end it there. I highly recommend it. That's why I give it my gold card for a lot of the things that it tried, that it attempted to do, and I think it did it extremely well. So I was gonna ask you guys, are we doing just one singular gold card?
Yes, that was the thing, man.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. I'm good. I'm good with my gold card.
All right.
I didn't give it up that easily though. Hey, any
Call me a
last
whore.
comment? You are. Any last comments before we close this up?
Watch the show, guys. It is worth it. It is worth. There are some good elements into it. If you could look past the things that I thought that I was sort of negative, it's a very enjoyable show. And then also too, don't drink snake blood. Or snake heart. That's nasty. Yeah.
Okay. I can't wait to see what Marvel has next or Disney Plus with Loki. But is it going to be better than WandaVision? Is it going to be better than Captain America and the Winter Soldier? We shall see.
What are you, a fucking advertisement now?
Yes. Give me my money, Disney.
Oh, and Ham says vodka with snake guts is good.
Ew.
Yes. I have it all the time.
All right, we'll just close it up here. Mike, do the social thing.
Guys, follow us on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram, and maybe MySpace. I don't know. Drunk Competent Teacher, and write us an email of any questions or any, I don't know, recommends or anything like that. We're running out of ideas. drunkcomp.ateacher@gmail.com. Thunderclap.
Very headline focused, and I want us to have a conversation about the Oscars in general, because I think it's just interesting where Oscars stand nowadays in the film industry. Maybe not. I don't know. Other than that, we'll leave you here. Bye, listeners. Have a great day, great weekend. Drink lots of booze with snake guts in it.
Yeah!